Before we even begin, I want you to hear this clearly. Your anxiety today is not coming from today. You're not weak. You're not broken. You're not too sensitive. Your anxiety is a childhood defense mechanism that never learned you grew up. And once you understand that, everything changes. Stay with me for the next 10 minutes. This might be the most important video you watch all month. As adults, we're constantly told that our anxiety comes from adult problems. We blame our obligations, the never-ending deadlines at work, the bills stacking up on the counter, the stress of modern life, the complexities of our relationships, and the sheer weight of responsibility. It makes sense, right? We look at our lives and see a dozen reasons to feel overwhelmed. But hear us a radical idea that might shift your entire perspective. Your body doesn't actually respond to adult problems, not in the way you think it does. Your body responds to old emotional memories. It's reacting to things that happened when you were too young to understand them, but just old enough to feel profoundly unsafe. Think about it. When did you first learn what fear felt like? It wasn't when you got your first credit card bill. It was much, much earlier. It was when a parent yelled and their voice felt like a physical blow. It was when you tried to share something important and you were ignored. It was when you were left alone for too long and the silence in the house became deafening. It was when the very people who were supposed to protect you, who were your entire world, didn't. Maybe they were too busy, too stressed, or dealing with their own pain. But to your small, developing nervous system, the message was the same. The world is not safe. I am not safe. Those early experiences became the blueprint for your survival. They taught your nervous system that it needed to be on high alert at all times. It needed to scan for threats, anticipate danger, and prepare for the worst. That was a brilliant survival strategy for a child who felt powerless. It kept you safe. But now you're 25, 35, or even 45, you're an adult, you have agency, you have resources, you have experience, yet your brain still reacts to a simple text message the same way it reacted to being 7 years old and terrified. Someone takes a little too long to reply, and suddenly you're not just waiting for a response. You're bracing for abandonment. Your boss asks to chat for a minute, and you're not just preparing for a conversation. You're anticipating punishment. You know that sudden, suffocating tightness in your chest. The heart that starts pounding like a drum against your ribs? The cold dread that washes over you, the feeling that something terrible is just about to happen. That's not adulthood. That's your inner child, frozen in time, begging for the safety it never got. That little kid inside you is still running the show, using an old, outdated operating system. Let's break this down even further. Why do you feel panicked when someone seems disappointed in you? It's not really about them. It's because a part of you learned as a child that losing approval meant losing safety. For a child, a parent's approval is linked to survival, to getting food, shelter, and love. So now, as an adult, even a hint of disapproval from a partner or a boss can trigger that same primal fear of being cast out and left alone. Why do you overthink every single decision, from what to eat for lunch to whether you should take a new job? Because as a kid, maybe mistakes weren't allowed. Maybe a wrong answer in homework led to yelling, or spilling a drink led to shame. You learned that making a mistake had catastrophic consequences. So now, your adult mind is stuck in analysis paralysis, terrified of choosing the wrong path. Because that inner child still believes a mistake means you are bad or unsafe. And why do you have such a deep-seated fear of being abandoned? Because once someone did leave you, maybe not physically. Maybe they were in the same room, but they were emotionally absent, lost in their own world, their own addiction, their own depression. To a child, emotional abandonment feels just like physical abandonment. You were left alone with your big feelings, and you learned that people can't be counted on. Your adult brain knows your friends won't just disappear, but your body, your nervous system doesn't. It remembers. I learned this the hard way. For years, I believed my anxiety was a character flaw. I thought something was just wrong with my brain. My anxiety didn't just appear at 23 when panic disorder hit me like a ton of bricks. It didn't start with my first real job or my first serious relationship. It started at 7, at 10, at 13. During all those years when I didn't feel safe in my own home, in my own body, I felt like I was walking on eggshells, always waiting for the other shoe to drop. The drugs and alcohol that came later, they weren't random acts of self-destruction. They were my desperate attempt to silence the fear that had been screaming inside me since I was a boy. They were a misguided attempt to self-soothe, to numb the hypervigilance that had been running my life for decades. And I truly wish someone had told me this sooner. Your anxiety is a memory, not a flaw. It's an echo of the past, not a prediction of the future. And here is the part that matters most, the part I really want you to take in. You don't fix anxiety by being stronger, by powering through, or by telling yourself to just calm down. You've probably tried all of that, and it doesn't work. In fact, it often makes it worse, because now you're anxious about being anxious. You heal anxiety by becoming safer, not by changing the world around you, but by creating a sense of safety inside of you. You become the safe, loving, and consistent parent to yourself that you may have never had. So what does that actually look like in a moment of panic? Here are a few practical steps you can start using today. First, notice the child talking. When you feel that wave of panic or that familiar dread, just pause and ask yourself, what age does this feel like? You might be surprised. The answer might be 6 or 9 or 14. Just identifying that the feeling is old helps to separate it from your current reality. You're not a helpless 30-year-old. You're feeling the helplessness of a 6-year-old. Second, give yourself the feeling of safety. This is a physical act. Put your hand on your chest, right over your heart. Put another hand on your stomach. Feel the warmth of your own touch. And then say to yourself, either out loud or in your head, I'm here. I'm safe now. This is old fear. You are literally communicating with your nervous system in its own language, the language of sensation. Third, slow the breath, not the mind. Trying to stop anxious thoughts is like trying to stop a tidal wave with your hands. It's impossible. But you can regulate your body. Focus on your exhale. Make it long, slow, and gentle, like you're slowly letting the air out of a balloon. Breathe in for a count of 4 and out for a count of 6 or 8. A long exhale is the nervous system's emergency brake. It sends a direct signal to your brain that says, we are safe enough to rest. Fourth, don't fight the fear, comfort it. Imagine a small child is in the room with you, and they are absolutely terrified. Would you yell at them to get over it? Would you tell them they're being irrational? No, you would get down on their level. You'd speak softly. You'd say, I know you're scared. It's okay. I'm right here with you. I'm not going anywhere. You have to do the same for the terrified part of yourself. You can't overpower a scared child. You can only comfort them. And finally, number 5, rewrite the story. Once the immediate wave of panic has subsided a little, ask yourself this powerful question. Is this situation actually dangerous, or does it just feel familiar? This simple question creates a wedge between the past and the present. It allows your adult brain to step in and say, wait a minute, this feels like when I was a kid and my parents were fighting, but right now it's just a disagreement with my partner. I'm not in danger. I can handle this. This one practice, done consistently, rewires your brain faster than almost anything else. Your anxiety is not who you are. It's a part of who you were, a part that has been trying to protect you for your entire life. It's a loyal soldier that doesn't know the war is over, and once you learn to see it that way, not as an enemy to be defeated, but as a part of you to be understood and cared for, you can finally move forward. You can finally start to live in the present instead of being held captive by the past. If this video helped you, please subscribe for more daily recovery content, and I strongly encourage you to download the free workbook available at freefromaddiction.net. It's designed to help you understand and break the cycle between anxiety and addiction for good. Thank you for watching.